go live. I had to piddle. I had to piddle before the stream. I had to pee. So I did the peas. What up, Butterfly? Double post! Oh, never mind. No. It's live stream night, man. It is live stream night, my friend. It is the night of the live streams. The night of the streams. The night of all the live streams. I'm so pumped. What's going on, you guys? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. A little, yep, you already know it. I had to tinkle. Before the stream. A couple minutes late. And I had to set up that thumbnail. Anyways, what's going on, guys? Butterfly, Zakai Plumber. Brandon, what's going on? David. Dog, what's going on, dude? Joe. Sora Kumo. I think I got that one right. Damn, Plumber already coming in with the donos. Appreciate the $2, my friend. What's up, bro? Love your videos. Hey, appreciate it, my friend. What's up, Big T? Just chilling. You know, carless, kind of, right now. I mean, I have the Impreza to drive around until we get the STI back, but, you know, it's all right. Oh, wait. It is the 2nd. Is it the 2nd? It's Tuesday. We do live streams on Tuesday. Always. All the live streams on Tuesday. Yo, I'm actually early and not late to this one. Well, what's going on, Bobby? Welcome. Cody. What's poppin', dude? What's poppin'? Future Tank. I think I got that one right. What's going on, my friends? Can we get a Rick and Morty? Ooh, maybe a little bit later in the stream. I'm gonna have to work up to that one. I'm gonna have to get in the zone for both Rick and Morty to be able to do that. Austin, what is going on? Bort Forts, what is poppin'? Fernando, what's up from the snowy Brooklyn? I'm kind of jealous. Everyone else is getting snow. We're not getting snow. All we get is rain. Let's have a ton of rain. What's up, man? What's up, Marlon? Did I get that one right? Did I get that one right? We got a little YouTube emoticon over here. I like it. I'm digging it. I made it. What's up? What up, Pyro and Games? Every single time. Tongue twister. Yo, how you doing? What's going on? Omni, what's going on, you guys? Is anyone else pumped? Who got time to pee? I mean, I'm about to sit here for an hour and a half. I got time to pee. It's probably from all the coffee. Use Google Translate camera feature to translate Japanese. I do it all the time. Comes in clutch. I have the app on my phone. I just didn't even think about using it when I was doing those rain guards. We had the pictures and the hieroglyphics. We were easily able to figure it out. It really wasn't that bad. Just a couple clips. Just a couple 3M sticky tape pieces. Just boop, right on there. Hey, what's going on? Super hyped to be here early. Well, I'm glad. Fox, what's poppin', dude? The Discord link isn't working for me. Can you post an updated one? Fox, could you do me a huge favor and toss in an updated Discord link just into the chat? If not, I can do it. Super hyped to be... I just went through that one. Drove me crazy when you said you can't read Japanese on that OEM manual. I can't read Japanese. I took Japanese for 2 years. I passed Japanese 1, failed Japanese 2. It was awful. What's going on, Chris? Hello from Brunei. What's going on? Wari STI? I think I got that one. What are some driver mods for 18WX that won't void my warranty? Stainless steel brake lines, master cylinder brace. If you don't mind voiding the drivetrain warranty a little bit, but the WXs have throwout bearing issues, so actually I'm not even going to suggest any of those. You can do brakes, you can do tires. It's probably about the extent of it. You could probably do a shift knob. You can do shift knob. There's not a whole lot you can do without voiding some aspect. You're not voiding the entirety of the warranty. You're just giving the dealer a reason to deny any warranty claims that you might be making. So I'm not going to toss out any that potentially could. Yo, stream. What's going on, Ryan? Help. I'm guessing it's help me understand offset. Would the same size wheel at plus 38 and plus 44 only be different in how much they poke out? Lower offset is more pushed out. It depends on the wheel, to be honest. Some wheels, when you have a lower offset, it's going to push them out more. It all depends on where the face of the wheel is, because offset is relative to where the face of the wheel is to the hub. So, it kind of depends on the wheel. If you have like a very concave wheel versus a very convex wheel, or you have a wheel with a very big lip, or if you're doing like 3-piece wheels, typically whenever you start going into higher offsets, I mean, you could go by that. Lower the offset, the little more poke you're going to have. a general good rule of thumb there. I'll just kind of stick with that. Plus, I mean, once you start getting into like trying to fit wheels with Brimbos, and you got to like actually take measurements to make sure that you're not going to be like smacking up on the Brimbos. Whole bunch of fun stuff. But typically, yes, lower offset does equal a little bit more poke. I just got my car back, and I have a sticky caliper. Like when you touch it, it's sticky, or when like you brake, it's a little bit sticky. I can't toss it in the chat, but I can make a new one. I think I can open up Discord here in a minute. I can throw a link in the chat for everyone. Best oil pressure gauge and EGT gauge brand. Typically, AEM is what I stick with. They're relatively affordable compared to some of the other ones out there. If you start getting into like Defy, however you want to pronounce it, those ones are a little bit more pricey, and some of them, I don't know if they all need controllers anymore. I don't know if that's still a thing. I would probably go with AEM on that one. I mean, I've had good success with AEM, with the exception of their air-fuel ratio gauges, and it's always the sensors. It's only the sensors that ever go bad. Ain't no one got time for that. My bladder got time for that. Love the channel, bro! Taught me so much about my Subi. Well, I'm glad I can share, AM. Got about 14 inches of snow in Massachusetts. All we get is rain! All we get. Trust me, dude, you don't want snow. I love snow. Clutch life goes down when it snows. When it snows, like, we get decent snow, like, maybe once every 2 or 3 years up here. And when we do, I'd say it's maybe, like 3 inches max. Maybe. Living right on, like, the Pacific Ocean just completely destroys a lot of chances of snow unless you're, like, up in the mountains or anything like that. What is the latest and the greatest with the Blob Eye? It is sitting in Subaru's parking garage right now, waiting for our oil pump to come. The oil pump either comes in tonight or tomorrow morning. I should be able to either pick the car up tomorrow night or Thursday morning. I don't know. 2 factors. A, they could do that oil pump a lot faster than I'd even be able to get the parts in to change that oil pump. B, I no longer have the tools to redo timing on that car because I gave them back to my buddy Ryan, who's building another motor. So he needs those tools. And C, I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to pull off all the timing stuff again. So it's nice to have Subaru, a second set of eyes, look over everything that I did when I was down there yesterday. And I should have just recorded a little bit on my phone. I didn't even think about it. But when I was down there yesterday, the car was up on the lift, and I could see on the back of the motor on both of the valve covers. Well, A, we already knew the passenger side valve cover was leaking just because I saw that yesterday. Was that yesterday? Yesterday when I changed the oil, but the half moons on both of them are also leaking, so we're just going to pull off all the both valve covers again, use these new billet machined half moons that I have. We'll seal everything up, get it all good and dandy. I did get an email back from Chris this morning, which I am like super pumped about. I sent him some driving logs of the STI just to kind of see what he thinks about how it was looking. On his end, he said everything looks pretty much fine. Just stay out of boost, drive the car around for a week, break everything in, take it down there, dyno tune, be on our merry way. Hey, in the Discord for rolls, can we have the early GCs? We can add a GC tab. I don't see any reason not to add a GC tab. We'll add a GC tab. Maybe be able to do strut tower brace without voiding warranty. I mean, you can definitely do strut tower brace. You can do sway bars. That's going to mess with your suspension issue. There's not a lot of suspension issues that come up though. So sway bars, end links, braces, all that stuff is pretty much like free. How much does a stock EG33 handle boost? I don't know because I've never tried to boost a stock EG33. I've seen other people do it and run like 5 to 7 PSI with some good success. But as personal experience, I've never tried to boost a stock EG33, so I would not be able to tell you like an accurate answer on that one. Hi, is the Potenza RE71 tire the best sticky summer combo for the quarter and the streets for a 500 horsepower 05 STI? What is the biggest tire I can run on the stock BBS wheels? 05 STI. You're looking at what, 17 by 8.5 wheels. You could probably fit a 245 on there if you really try. As for like the stickiest, I would probably go some like Toyo R888s. Those tires are stupid sticky, and they're still a street radial, so you can still use them when driving around legally. Also, I'd probably go with the Toyos. I've seen a lot of people use the Toyos. I've seen a lot of success with the Toyos. Where did I just go? My dealership said catback exhaust was fine. Ask your dealer. I mean, a catback's not really a driver-centric modification, but yeah, catbacks are totally free game. Will an FP green void your warranty? I mean, I'm not going to void your warranty if you want to throw an FP green on there. I will uphold your warranty, but then again, I am not the dealer, so I don't even need to answer that one. Should I void my engine warranty on my 18WX? That is totally up to you. A lot of people ask me, should they void their warranty? Whenever it comes to voiding warranty, if you do not feel mechanically comfortable taking apart an engine and having to put it back together if something were to go wrong, or you don't have an excess of like $6,000 if your motor blows up and they deny any warranty claims you might have done because you put an access port on the car, you started modifying the engine, then I'd say no. If you feel comfortable and you have a little bit of like a reserve in there to be able to maybe build it or replace parts if they break, then by all means, yeah. If not, then I probably wouldn't. How about that? The new bot alerted us in Discord about you. Hey, that's awesome. I'm glad the bot's working. I'm happy I finally got that taken care of. I'm glad you guys were able to set that all up. Like, seriously, I would have no idea what I'm doing in Discord. Search wheel offset calculator. Apparently there's a calculator for it. Young Russian. Hey, Tanner. Love the channel. Hey, appreciate it, my man. Alex, Tanner, is it a good idea to run 20mm wheel spacers on an 05 STI stock BBS? That's what I'm doing. Pushing 525 all-wheel horsepower. Will this hurt performance? If you're launching the car, I could see a little bit of stress being put on the wheel bearings. Outside of that, I wouldn't expect any damage to come from the car. As long as you're not hard launching it every single day, you should be totally fine. I would obviously suggest getting proper size wheels, but I'm not one to talk on that because I've got 20mm wheel spacers on my 05 STI. Just as long as you're not doing hard launches, you'll be solid. My STI is at 420 wheel horsepower, now with a Cobb 20G. Ooh, that's a fun turbo. Your channel has helped me get there, and I appreciate it. It's a fun car now with flex fuel. Will, congrats. Bushido photo? I think I got that one right. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Sounds like a fun car. Sounds like you got a fun little car over there. What is the largest wheel? There's a lot of wheel and tire questions tonight. What is the largest wheel and tire fitment for a WRX? That I need more info, like what generation WRX, what year WRX. Every body is going to be different because you're only going to be able to fit such a big tire under stock body. The piston doesn't... Oh, Devin! Look who it is. Appreciate the dono, dude. Should have gotten Evo. Yeah, I said it. Devin, you find me an affordable Evo. You got it. Jared, also welcome to the membership program. You get a whole bunch of cool perks if you are a member, you guys. You get some Discord stuff. You get merchandise, discounts and whatnot. Which, by the way, we do have new merch coming. I'd say in probably like 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to do it a little bit differently this time, just because I don't have huge capital to hold like a whole bunch of inventory. So the way we're going to do it is like open it up to pre-order for like 72 hours. After that, I'll like shut it off, or maybe I'll like keep it open a little bit longer. So that way all sizing, availability, and options will be open for everyone. So we'll do small through like 3XL and everything in between there. So that way if anyone wants to snag some merch, and it's not sizes that I generally stock, here's your guys' opportunity. New t-shirts, 3 new hoodie options, whole bunch of good stuff coming. I got way off track there. But yeah, anyways, welcome to the membership, Jared. Appreciate it, man. If you don't... Oh, wait, butterfly effect. I totally jumped. The piston doesn't retract sometimes when braking, but I mean, hey, it might be sticky. Could be sticky. I gotcha. I mean, you touch it, it might be sticky. If you don't mind me asking how much to replicate your EG33 build, I have an 08 STI hatch and need an engine. It would be amazing. So I'll be straight up honest with you guys. Just for the long block. So if we're including the price of how much I paid for the EG33 on eBay, I bought that motor for $1,000. I realized I could have bought like an entire parts car for significantly cheaper. Also, Connor, appreciate the dono, man. You guys always kill it every single live stream. Your boy always appreciates it, my man. EG33 is very moist. That's what I'm saying. That engine is very moist. I'm going to smell that thing when it comes back. But if you guys want to replicate this build, the short block, or it was the long block, it was a bare long block, probably cost me, I think it was $800 plus $200 ship it, so $1,000 shipped for that long block. To have it shipped down to out front was another like $400. To have them do all of the work to the short block, the heads, that's like closed deck, 1/2-inch head studs, custom built CP pistons, manly rods, having my cams reground and shipped down to California also. We did valves, valve springs. We did a port on the heads. Probably came out to about around $10,500 to $11,000 ish. Thankfully, when we parted out the EJ257 out of that STI, that covered a good chunk of building that engine. But keep in mind, if you do something like this, you also need a standalone ECU. You need to do custom fabrication for the exhaust manifold, intercooler piping, intake manifold. The injectors and fuel system alone probably cost me another $1,500 to $2,000. It's not a cost-effective build for somebody looking to make a ton of power, but it is a different style of build, which will be fun. It'll be different and should make a lot of reliable power at that. But for anyone who's wanting to do the EG33 build, it's a lot more expensive than it looks like. Like it is completely. I will never financially recover from this. Young Russian, hey Tanner, how long have you been doing YouTube and what made you want to start? So I've been doing YouTube full time since April of 2020. I quit kind of right when the pandemic started kicking off, but prior to that I was uploading in August of 2019 is when I started. I don't know, I was watching a lot of YouTube. I do a lot of car stuff, so I just kind of put the two together. I was like, I can do this. And it's fun. I enjoy doing it. If you don't genuinely enjoy making videos and wanting to help people and share this type of information, it's just not fun. So as long as you enjoy it and you love the interaction with everyone, it's definitely the most rewarding, I guess, job. You call it a job because technically I guess it is my job. It's the most rewarding job I've ever had. There's a lot more work and hours that go into it than what people think. Typically I'm up until like probably 1 or 2 a.m. editing, scripting, doing something related to work. But it's enjoyable. I love it. I have what might be a dumb question. I don't think so. 2017 WRX. I'm putting in oil pressure gauge. Do I need to drain the oil before taking out the oil galley plug and putting in the Killer Bee dual sender? Where are you trying to pull oil pressure from, Pyro? If you're trying to pull oil pressure from the block, there's no need to drain the oil. There should be a couple open oil galley ports, or you could pop off the old OEM oil pressure sensor. You can ground that out or just leave it hanging. I don't remember which one of them, but it will keep the light off on the dash. I would go off of one of the stock ports on the block and just run your oil pressure sensor to that. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to with the Killer Bee dual sender. Not quite sure what that is. We have a high of -2 this weekend, but half a foot of snow is coming down. I mean, that's kind of nice. I know you probably answer this all the time, but what's a good deep sounding exhaust that just neighbors that just heightens the already awesome sounding exhaust? Honestly, my favorite is the NVIDIA N1 single exit. It's a relatively affordable exhaust. It keeps a lot of the OEM-ness of the rumble if you want to keep your unequal length headers. Even if you keep some equal length headers on there, it sounds phenomenal. That would be like that's always my go-to. If I'm buying a single exit exhaust, it's typically always the NVIDIA N1, just the stainless steel tip. I'm not a huge fan of like the burnt bluish purple color on the exhaust tips. I mean, I have it on the 05 STI. I'm not going to swap it out because that is still a good catback. But NVIDIA N1, ETS, both of them good. Also, John, appreciate the dono, my friend. Appreciate the dono, you guys. You guys absolutely kill it every single stream, and your boy always appreciates it. If I put an FP Black on my FBO 2017 STI stock internals, would it handle it? Or I would definitely not do that. I would not suggest doing that. I would at max put an FP Blue on that thing, and I wouldn't really push it above 400. That was kind of the sweet spot for my 2017 STI. Those are still the popsicle stick EJ engines where they don't have the revised internals from the Type RA short block, which when I say revised internals, it's really just a slightly different piston design and a revised ring gap. I would not put an FP Black on that stock block unless you want to send that thing to the moon. It'll go to the moon with AMC and GameStop. That's not financial advice, by the way. Can't complain on having too much rain in Vegas. True. I haven't been down to Vegas in a while. That'd be nice. But better now than on the dyno. True. I am very glad that the oil pump went out now rather than it going out on the dyno, because that would have been absolutely awful. Are you coming out with the IAG AOS tutorial video soon? Yes, I am. I meant to get that one out tomorrow, but since I don't have the 05 STI, I can't finish shooting the little last bit of that video that I need. So as soon as I get the car back, that will probably be the next video that comes out. Live all your vids. Started watching from your first video recently. The video, you washing your car when that was like the second or third video I uploaded, and I had no idea what I was doing with the camera at that time, but it's come a long way. The channel's come a long way. If you guys ever watch some of those super old videos, you'll see I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I still have absolutely no idea what I'm doing half the time. Do you mind telling us how much Subaru is charging you to replace the oil pump? I don't know yet. But when I know, I will let you know. I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow when I pick up the car. I don't know right now. 69th person watching. Ayo! Drop new link in the mod chat. You'd have to give me chat mod to drop links in here. Can I do it? I think I can do it. Let me throw in the new Discord dealio, the new Discord link. So if anyone does want to join the Discord, they are more than welcome to join the Discord. Fox, you say you put in the moderator chat? I don't see in the moderator chat. Dropped a new link in mod chat. I don't see it. But what I can do is, hey, I just got the tracking for the EG33. Woohoo! Hold up. There's 3 packages coming. What are these 3 packages? Hey, Christian, appreciate the dono, my friend. Appreciate it, man. And that's always the pair. I love the pair. The pair is always one of my favorite ones. Hold up. I'm just pulling up tracking on the EG33 right now, so that way I can see when it's going to get delivered. I'm curious. Track the, boom! When is it going to come? When is it showing up? Pending delivery. Signature required, obviously. Anyway, I was pulling up that Discord link. Let me pull up that Discord link right now. Invite member, share link, copy. Let me open it up in you. Can I even open up my own stream on YouTube? Can I incept myself? I think I can. I think I can. I can incept myself. Oh, no, don't play it, though. Don't play it, though. Chat publicly asks media. Yes, that's who I am. Bam! There we go. Discord link is in there if anyone wants to join the Discord. Sorry, it took me a minute. Anyways, I'm pumped that the EG33, I just got the tracking for it. How is your state towards emission standards? I'm in Southern California, and the worst state to be in part of the car community. We have no emissions here. We have 0 emissions. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. No emissions at all. No emissions. It's all free game. Hi, Donwell. The Ghost. What's going on, AJ? I'm glad that YouTube did not block that comment from me seeing it. Did anyone just see that orb that passed Tanner in the background? It's probably a ghost. Probably a ghost. Everyone say hi to the ghost. YouTube is in need of a coolant burping process for the EJ257. I think it could be very resourceful video in the future. I can definitely make that one. I can easily make that one. I can make a coolant burping video for the EJ series. Like sometimes, is it weird to be able to shift from 5th to 4th a bit too easy? Like sometimes it slides right in, winky face emoji, but too easy than other times. I'm not sure if that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. What do you mean? Like it doesn't just want to like go like it just like bloop like right in there? Wheel spacers are sketch. Y'all brave. I haven't had any negative effects with wheel spacers, and they're temporary for right now until I get the wheels that I want for the 05 STI. I've never ran into any negative side effects with them. I mean, if you're running like a 2-inch wheel spacer, that's a totally different story. But a 20 mil, I wouldn't be too worried. I was out last night having some fun in the snow, and out of nowhere my dash said my differential was locked. I shut it off and it went away. What would cause it to flash? Potentially, if you're like playing in the snow, you're sliding around, you could be sloshing all of the oil over to one side. It could cause the sensor in the rear diff to freak out a little bit. I'm guessing that's probably what happened. If it continues to happen every single time, I would definitely check to make sure fluid levels are good back there, and maybe cool it just a hair. I had to go. Oh no, right here. Thoughts on Ken Block's new wheels? The KB1 looked pretty good on a Subi. I did see those today. They did look pretty good. I had to go for an access port because the car kept going into limp mode because of the stupid high ambient temps here in Phoenix. The dealership didn't want to help with my car consistently losing boost. That is extremely annoying. I remember living down in Arizona. It gets hot down there. I mean, hopefully the access port is just your gateway into more modifications. Hopefully. Plumber, what is my favorite dispensary in Washington? I do not smoke the devil's lettuce, my friend. I am not a devil's lettuce smoker. So I don't know. 27, Mr. Crowley, 2017. I have to go back up and find your other comment. Is that in the 2017 in reference to the video of me washing the 2017 STI? Hey, I got your drive sweatshirt and love it. I know. I remember that. I remember shipping that out to you, my man. Glad you are enjoying it. The new ones. I'm so pumped for the new ones. I got one of the samples in yesterday, and it looks pretty killer. Jared, much love. Appreciate it, my man. I'm running 18 by 9.5 plus 33 wheels on my 16 WRX. Oops. WRX. It's not bad. Not bad size. Can't wait to see it and see mine. Yas! Yas! 18 by 9.5, 2006 WRX. Will they fit? What wheels are we talking about? I need to know what wheels and what's the offset. There's a lot of variables here. A lot of variables. You can fit 18 by 9.5 under the fender if you roll and pull those fenders. Tire size is also going to play a huge factor in that. The bigger tire you throw on there, obviously it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to shove them under the fenders, and how low you are is going to play a huge factor in that as well. For Ice, how old am I? How old do you guys think I am? Let's play a game. How old do you think I am? If someone gets it right, I'll tell you guys. Catted or uncatted downpipe for an FA20? Catted, 100%. Have you watched the video of the 06 STI with the EG33? That one does not have an EG33. That one has an EZ30 in it. But yes, I have seen that video, and EZ30s are another popular 6-cylinder option that a lot of people go with. How often do I wash my hat? How often do I wash this hat? Probably once a week, because this hat gets gross. This hat gets gross. You think I'm butterfly? You think I'm 41? You think I'm 41, dude? Jeez, 41. I am not 41. That kind of hurt, man. That kind of hurt. A couple people I see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 correct answers for my age. I am 27. 27. I'm old. I feel old. I feel old. I'm young at heart, but I feel old on the outside. My knees hurt. My knees hurt. Where'd I just go? Leap year. He's 7. I'm just 7 years old. I don't know how I get into bars that way. I'm still offended, man. 41? I think I look 41. Kind of hurt. 40. Jeez, you guys are brutal tonight. Absolutely brutal. I imagine it will cost me more than $400 to ship my EG from Canada. Probably. It'll probably cost you a decent amount more. F Butterfly. Yeah, 41. If I shave, I look like I'm 19. Tire place. Wait, I got milk on the top of my oil cap. That is definitely a blown head gasket, right? No. No, that just means you're getting a little bit of moisture in there. You might be getting a little bit of moisture on the top of the oil cap. Could be dripping down to some oil vapor, causing the yellow, foamy, pea-looking stuff that hangs out down there. That is not a sign. I mean, if you have a ton of it, obviously, if you have a ton of it, then it's a sign of a blown head gasket. If it's just a little bit, no, I wouldn't worry about that. It's normal. It happens. Just a kid. See, I'm just done. See? Damn, dude, you got a lot of knowledge for 27. Hey, appreciate him. Appreciate him, my man. Your boy is getting a 78 GMC Diablo. I know it's not a Subi, but I'm stoked. Ooh, that sounds like a fun car, though. Sounds like a fun car. What shop built the EG33? I went through Outfront Motors. Jeremy down there, incredibly knowledgeable, super chill dude, super cool guy also. Very open, very honest. They were incredibly... He's hurt. Live is over, guys. I just dip out now. Yeah, but yeah, Jeremy out front down there, they're incredibly awesome. The EG33 took about 5 months to build because a lot of the parts that we were waiting on had to be custom made, custom ordered. A lot of parts for that engine are becoming increasingly more difficult to find. EJs take like significantly shorter amount of time. But yeah, out front, awesome shop. What's the difference between feedback knock and fine knock learn? Feedback knock is a real-time sensor for how much feedback knock you're getting. Fine knock learn bases it off of past knock events. So one of them is real-time, one of them is learning off of past events. What are some mods that won't void my engine and transmission warranty for an 18WX? Shrouds. That's it, unfortunately. Jason, what's going on, dude? Hey, Tanner, missed the past couple of live streams, but I'm back. What's going on, dude? My auction bought WRX, which I've mentioned before, is finally almost done. Hey, good to hear, dude. Hope it's back on the road soon, and I hope you have a lot less problems than I had. Like, a lot less problems. Exhaust. I mean, you can do an exhaust. I don't really consider exhaust, like, engine-related. That's more like, I put it in, like, its own category. Its own category. You're not even old enough to vote, right? I mean, I don't know. So I recently bought a 17 WRX, wishing I bought the STI. Should I trade the WRX in for an STI or build the WRX? I mean, honestly, it depends on what you're going to be using the car for. If you're just going to be using it as a daily driver with a little bit of modification, keep the WRX, pocket the extra money that you would have spent on the STI, modify it a little bit if you want to. If you're going to be doing any type of like spirited driving, like heavy spirited driving, heavy track events, heavy modification, at that point I would consider moving over to an STI. But it kind of boils down to what you're using the car for. Also, Subi Vlogs, appreciate the dono, man. Thanks for the tip on the catted downpipe. It is anytime, dude. Catted down, remember, you guys, catted downpipes are going to be for internal wastegate. Catless is going to be for external wastegate, but you guys might remember a couple live streams back, I brought up the fact that a lot of parts are disappearing off of manufacturers' websites. I saw another more updated article. I think it was titled from January 25th or something along those lines. And a lot of vendors have been posting about this, but there will be no more catless downpipes made and sold from any real reputable shops out there also. I have a feeling that's also going to include stuff like external wastegates, potentially blow-off valves, not anytime soon, but probably in the next couple of years. Anything that's going to start venting anything to the atmosphere. The Clean Air Act is what they're getting like hammered on, and people are getting hit with heavy fines. I think one shop got hit with a fine of like $380,000 from the EPA for selling parts that they weren't supposed to be selling. So catless downpipes will unfortunately soon be a thing of the past unless you have a shop custom fab you one. But I know like California and a couple other states are like super strict with that. Jack, what's going on, dude? Hey man, how you doing? I looked under IAG's website for an AOS for an 04 WRX, and I found one for 0607 WRX and an 04 to 07 STI. Is it okay for my car, or will it not work? I don't see why it wouldn't work. I don't, what is that, 205 versus 255 or 253? 253 versus 205? I don't see why it wouldn't work. I'm sure you could make it work. Honestly, I'd probably get something else. If they don't, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know if the breather ports on the heads are the same on the 205 versus the 253, because I'm pretty sure 06 is when they swapped over to the 253 in the WRX instead of the 205. I don't think it'll bolt directly up, but you can make it work. You can make it work. It just depends on how determined you are to make it work. Have I heard anything good or bad about Drive Auto Sports in Everett? They have an all-wheel drive dyno. I've heard things hit or miss. I've heard a couple people going up to Drive Auto Sports and getting tuned, and they weren't necessarily happy with the tunes. They ended up getting retuned. I've also heard other people say that they like their tune that they got from up there. So it seems like they might be a little bit hit or miss. Personally, I'm going to stick with Surgeline, PRE, those types of shops. I'm pretty picky whenever it comes to that type of stuff. Young Russian, my brother and I just started a YouTube channel on our 05 STI, and my goal is to do it full time eventually. I totally feel it. It's a lot more work than what it kind of seems like, but it's fun, it's rewarding, and it's definitely enjoyable. I will have to swing over to your channel in a little bit and go peek at some of your guys' videos. Ha! It's 83 here today. I think today was like 40 degrees for us down here, up here, left over here, wherever we are. Got the blue tips, and they did not stay blue for long. That is also true. They tend to fade relatively quickly. Running plus 30mm on 18 by 8.5 wheels with 1 inch spacers on 06 STI. Use the wheel offset calculator. There's a calculator, my friends. I sanded the blue off my exhaust and polished it with Neverdol. Neverdol is an amazing product. Neverdol is incredibly awesome. I love Neverdol. I got the new X mod from Magnaflow. Is a new favorite single exit. It's a bit pricey, but Cameron Alford just got interesting. Interesting. I've never heard of it. I've never been a huge fan of Magnaflow. Never been a huge fan, but I'll have to check that one out. Todd, if you clean it with Windex, it generally... Oh, that's at Todd. That's at Todd. That's not at me. Thoughts on buying used coilovers? Very good budget coilovers if you can find some that are used. Just make sure you fully inspect every single coilover. I'm talking dampening, preload, spring, the shocks themselves. If you can get a little bit of compression on there, play with them a little bit to try to get a little bit of rebound. See if you can feel that. Make sure that they're not seized on the lower locking collars. So you said Fortunato or BC are the most popular I see available. I would probably snag a set of used Fortunatos over used BCs. I've got BCs on the 05 STI. I wouldn't buy a used set of BCs. I've done that before, and I completely hated them, only for the fact that I didn't inspect them, and they were super seized. So, I mean, if it's a relatively low mile set, by all means. By all means. The Killer Bee dual sender lets me keep the stock sensor for the dash light. So, yes, I would use the port of the OEM sensor. I would just remove the OEM sensor. I wouldn't even use it. If it was me, I wouldn't even use it. That's what I did on the BRZ. I completely removed the stock sensor, grounded out that wire. It kept the light on the dash off, and I could just manually monitor my oil pressure. Personal preference, but you can definitely use the Killer Bee one if you want to. Thanks, I ran that on my WRX. Getting ready to drive home in the snow. I still wish we had snow up here. Best turbo on the JDM STI 2.0, FP black or FP green on 91 octane. Also will be running with BC 266 cams for the JDM model. I didn't even know they made 266 cams. Best turbo on the JDM STI 2.0. Honestly, I don't know. Whenever it comes to JDM cars, I haven't dabbled too much with JDM Subarus before. I know specific JDM parts that I buy, but when it comes to modifying JDM models, I typically don't know because a lot of that stuff is open source tuning, and I don't know what specific tuners like whenever it comes to open source, what they prefer when building those cars that way. I can give you like USDM, Canada, AUD, that kind of recommendations, but whenever it comes to like straight JDM stuff, they're typically going to be a little bit they're going to be significantly different just because their ECUs operate a little bit differently. I don't even know what motor. I don't even know what that motor is. What is it? I'm guessing it's a 2 liter. Don't know what heads. You're using cams. Don't know what the valve train is. I don't know. I cannot help you there, my friend. Good night, and thanks, guys. Good night, Todd. FA can rebuild for a very affordable price and really good. I run the FA 510s on my STI. There we go, 510s. Frank had blocked your comment, but I now know why you have front mount intercooler on your cars. Damn, they are pricier for these cars. Top mount intercooler reinstall. I know. There's one video that I forgot to edit that I posted. It was probably one of my super early videos, where for some reason it was just me fighting with an intercooler for like 15 minutes. It's just a 15-minute video of me fighting with an intercooler. I don't know how I uploaded that to YouTube, but that made it in some video long time ago. I hate those things. I hate all top mount intercoolers. Dude, my 2008 WRX literally eats 1 liter every 5,000 kilometers, and I don't see any leaks. What do you think? If it's eating, so if oil is disappearing, it's going somewhere. Keep that in mind. It's not just magically vanishing. Popular areas where oil tends to disappear is going back through the PCV system into the intake tract, getting consumed by the turbo, getting spat out the exhaust. Rings could be wearing also, which would cause oil to be getting past the rings, going into the combustion chamber, getting burned off, getting sent out the exhaust also. I would start with the easier of the two and start with the PCV system. Check your PCV valve, check your lines. If you don't have an air oil separator, that can help with oil consumption to an extent. But if your rings are starting to wear and you're starting to get blow-by past the rings, at that point it comes down to just consume oil till the motor blows or rebuild it at that point. If you want, you can do a compression test. That might help a little bit just to give you an idea of how healthy the motor is and how healthy the rings are. But that's kind of where I would start. If you do get lower numbers on a compression test, something you can do is a leak down test. That'll kind of narrow down where the leak is coming from. Essentially, you're just pressurizing the cylinder. You can pop off the oil cap. If you can hear the air coming out of the oil cap, then you know that air is getting past the ring on the piston, and then you're going to be getting blow-by through there. There's where all the mystery oil is disappearing to. But start with the easier of the two. Start with PCV system. Will you start doing any instructional install videos in the future? Yes, we will do those again at some point when there are modifications that I have not already installed. Keep in mind that all of the modifications I've done on the 2005 STI, we have dedicated install videos for, of when I did them on the 2017 STI. I pretty much built the car the exact same, just using different brands' parts, but I have dedicated install videos for pretty much every single part that is on the 05 STI and every single part that was on the 2017 STI. So it's not me just like glazing past like all of these installs like, hey, you guys figure it out on your own. We've literally done all these installs, and there are already dedicated install videos on the channel already to 90 to 95% of the parts we've already installed. What's a good way to lose weight on a GD without gutting everything with keeping the interior complete as well? You can lose the spare tire, lose the jack if you don't mind losing that. You can pull out sound deadening. I mean, if you're trying to drop weight, things have to disappear. You could swap out the front and rear crash bar for something like Beat Rush. That's a lot less heavy. You could swap. You could do the drive shaft with a aluminum or carbon fiber one. There's not a whole lot you can do without giving some stuff up, unfortunately. You could probably get lighter seats if you wanted to, but that one's going to be kind of hit or miss there. I just picked up an 05 STI. One weird issue is there's oil all over the top of the block, everywhere, from the steering pump to the back of the PCV valve. Definitely engine oil ideas. Once again, PCV. I would check PCV on there, make sure that all the PCV lines are properly connected. Make sure you don't have any holes in the top of the engine either. If you got a hole in the top of the engine, that oil is going to be all over the place. But at that point, the car probably wouldn't be running. How's it running? That's my next question, Paul, is how is the car running? If it's running good, PCV system would be my first thought. If it is definitely engine oil, make sure it's not power steering fluid either. It kind of resembles the same when it's all pooled up on top of the block. That was my issue, is my power steering pump was leaking everywhere out of the top of the block. But the only thing back there that I can think of that would be leaking oil is PCV lines. Like outside of that, or like the turbo feed line coming off of the AVCS and wrapping back around to the turbo. But if that's the case, it would be pressurized. You'd be literally spraying oil out of that line. PCV line just seems like the most... If it is engine oil, PCV line just seems like it's the probably most realistic answer I can give you on that one. I was out last night having some fun in the snow, and out of nowhere, we talked about that one. We talked about that one also. Is it simple to E-tune? Speed density necessary for the E-tune. Speed density is not really necessary until you're really shooting for high horsepower. Is E-tuning easy? It is relatively easy. I have an entire E-tuning series of when we did it with the 2013 BRZ when we turbocharged that car. Yeah, it's easy, depending on the E-tuner that you have. When I used Build on a Delicious Tuning, the whole process took like maybe like 4 hours of E-tuning. Super easy. What's the process before doing a new install? Instructions from manufacturer, YouTube. Some of these installs are intimidating. I'm scared to try. Honestly, if it's an install I've never done, or if it's a part I've never installed, I'll pull up the manufacturer's instructions. I'll take a gander at those. If it seems relatively straightforward, I will jump into it. I think the last install that I had never done before and I was just jumping into was the high pressure power steering line coming up with the power steering pump. Seemed pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. I referenced the instructions, remove the old line, put the new line in. If you're doing something that's a little more complex, like say an air oil separator or something like that, just pull up the manufacturer's instructions, follow those. If you get to the point in the manufacturer's instructions where you're a little bit confused, pull up a YouTube video, go through the YouTube video, get some visuals of what you're actually looking at, so that way you know what to reference. But for the most part, for me, I just reference manufacturer instructions, just because those are pretty straightforward. Plus, most of the install videos that I see out there, I don't want to watch some dude like run around his house for 20 minutes before he starts installing whatever part he's installing. Just got myself some Centric Rotors for my 2019 STI, and I knew somebody that works at the Subaru dealership, and he told me that Centrics are cheap OEM replicas, and they won't perform as good. That is not true at all. Centric Rotors are owned by StopTech, and StopTech makes very good rotors. Very good rotors. They just, if it's someone working at the dealership, they obviously want you to spend the money in the parts department and buy OEM rotors and spend $1,500 on rotors alone. No, I run Centrics on the 05 STI. They feel brilliant. I run StopTech rotors on Literally every other car I've used in the past, and Stop Tech is Centric. Good rotors. Great rotors. I'm sus of the devil's lettuce statement. I really don't smoke. I really don't smoke weed. I smoke cigarettes, which is a terrible habit, which I've been like heavily cut back on versus what I used to do. But yeah, nope, no devil's lettuce for me. My fifth gear squeals at 65 to 75 miles per hour. I've heard both that it's normal on the 5-speed and to be concerned ever had this problem. Personally, I've never had that problem. I also haven't had a ton of 5 speeds. I've only had 3 cars in the past that are 5 speeds. Never had a ton of squealing in fifth. Not too much. If it is squealing, I would try gear oil first. From there, continue diagnosing. Hopefully the gear oil solves it, and maybe it's just old gear oil in there. But personally, I've never had any like real squeals from the 5-speed. What's a good price for a dyno tune if I have an intake J-pipe and catback exhaust? That really depends on the tuner that you're going to. Some average shop rate for a dyno tune is probably going to be around like $400 to $500, and then depending on like what the tune consists of, it's going to get more expensive. I know that when I got my pump gas flex fuel tune for the 17 STI, that came in at around, I want to say it was $900 for both of those tunes. But it's really going to come down to like who's tuning your car. Are you dyno tuning, e-tuning? What are the modifications done to the car? What is the car? And then the reputation of the tuner also kind of plays a factor in what they charge and what their value is. Could you explain rev matching for us, bit for us noobs? So if you're, say, in 5th gear at 4,500 RPM and you want to shift down 1 gear, you're going to end up coming off, you're going to come out of that gear as the RPMs start to fall. You're either going to catch it right where the RPM is falling, or you're just going to blip the throttle a little bit to get that RPM right where it is. So that way when you go into gear, it's going to be a nice smooth transition. Nothing's going to be incredibly choppy. Nothing's going to be incredibly like jumping into gear or anything like that. So it just makes for a much more smooth transition when you're going either up or when you're going from a higher gear down to a lower gear. How often I watch that hat. It's my favorite one. Wow, YouTube was a bit late tonight. YouTube. What is up and woo on the flat 6? That's what I'm saying. That motor, I have the tracking for it. I don't know when it's supposed to be here. I'm guessing probably last time I want to say it was like a 2-day shipping. Today is Tuesday. It'll probably start shipping tomorrow, which is Wednesday. We'll probably get the EG33 short block back on Friday. Hoping Friday. Damn, dude, you got a lot of knowledge for 27. Appreciate it, my man. Just a kid. I am like a child on the inside. You have no idea. Laugh at the stupidest jokes. But it's all right. It's all right. It's how you stay youthful. It's all in the hands. Don't lie. Spear fingers. You just got spear fingers. I have a 15 WRX with catless turbo back exhaust. Would going external wastegate be a good move? That'd be a fantastic move. You're going to end up boost creeping. The twin scroll turbos aren't nearly as bad as a lot of the single scroll, but you will still experience boost creep, especially in colder weather, as we are in like winter right now. Summertime, it's not nearly as bad, but you can still be subject to boost creep. But yes, if you're catless, I would definitely suggest going external wastegate. What's the plan for the EG build? Street car, track car, or weekend mountain fun? So the EG build is going to go full out time attack car. So I want to get into time attack. I used to race autocross a lot with my older 2007 STI that I had a couple years ago. I want to move over into the time attack category segment down at the Ridge Motorsports Park here. So that car, it's going to be primarily track, but I am going to be driving it on the street a lot. I'm going to be driving that car everywhere. It's going to have a full cage, full safety, everything like that. We're not going to have airbags in that car, but we will still have all other safety aspects inside of that car. So yeah, it'll be primarily a track car, but a lot of street use. I think he wants to drag it. I will take it to the drag strip too. That is another thing that I want to do with that thing. Why not IAG? You love IAG. What did I say about IAG? I don't remember what I said about IAG. I like IAG. What's wrong with IAG? What did I say about IAG? Am late, but hi everyone. Hello, Oreo. Rebadged El Camino with Flaming Devil on the hood. That thing will be fun. I think it'll be a fun car. Not even old enough to vote. When I shave, I'm not old enough. Shrouds, see? I have an EG33 and a GC8 that has been sitting on the side of my house for about 4 years. Dude! Hopefully your build will motivate me to finish it. Hopefully I can motivate you to finish it, man. Don't let that thing sit out there. Don't do that. Go save that thing. Go save it. Have I ever heard of what's the extra clearance on the fourth cylinder when you go with forged pistons. I personally don't know. However, I have no idea what extra clearance you might be referring to. Are you talking like ring gap, like leaving a little bit extra, a little bit tighter? Are you talking like what clearance are we talking about here? Any brand recommendations for replacing hoses? OEM. Oops, just messing with you. Was gonna super chat, but apparently I don't have $5. You totally good, man. I was just giving you shit for calling me 41. 41. I can't believe that. 41. 41. 41. That hurts. Hey, appreciate the membership. Des Killjoy? I think I got that one right. Appreciate the membership, man. Like I said, members, you guys get awesome special perks, editions, all that fun stuff. I might be starting like some member-only live streams here in the future, just like get some of your guys' questions down a little bit easier, like half-hour streams here and there or something like that. Don't quite know yet, but welcome, my friend. How did I do heavy snow STIC? Yep. How do you do the vapor canister purge valve delete? Depends on how deep you're willing to or wanting to go in deleting purge valve and evap stuff. The evap solenoid up in the engine bay is relatively easy to do that one. Just pull out all the hoses, route the evap out to, we'll just route evap like down into the fender area, so that way all the the evap fumes go out there. If you want to do the entire canister setup, there's some like Venturis that you have to trick the system with. I haven't done the full canister delete on my cars. I typically just stop with the evap solenoid, kind of reroute everything down to go into the fender, so that way I'm not breathing everything in whenever I'm like standing up in the engine bay. But that whole canister delete, we're going to be doing that on the 2017 STI. When the time comes, I'll make a dedicated video showing you guys how to delete all of that. You're going to have to go under the car. There's a whole bunch of stuff near the gas tank, and it's not a fun thing to do. I just bought a 2009 STI, congrats Sam, and it's had the same ticking sound your 05 did, but I replaced them and it's still ticking. I'm lost, the motor is healthy, could it be normal? At this point I'm starting to think it might be normal because mine's doing the same thing, it's still ticking even after I swapped out like the coil packs and some other stuff. I'm just going to live with it, just living with it. No! I need a Grimspeed external wastegate. I know the Mod Garage has external wastegates, the Grimspeed uppipe ones. I believe they have like 2 or 3 of them left in stock if you guys are looking to snag any of those ones. I know Grimspeed stopped production on the external wastegate uppipe for a while. I don't know for how long or if it's indefinitely, but I know the Mod Garage was able to snag a decent amount of them. Plumber, is Cobb Stage 3 Plus worth it? Stage 3 is going to end up being downpipe, catback, intake, fuel injectors, fuel rails, fuel line from Cobb, fuel pump. I believe that's the extent of Stage 3. I would suggest it if you are looking to make some power. If you're just looking at doing that Stage 3 setup, I can estimate on an STI you're probably going to be making around like 320 to 330 wheel horsepower. Anything past that, you're going to have to start swapping out the turbo, some exhaust manifolds, and some other fun stuff. Do I think it's worth it? I'd rather piece together a kit than just buying Cobb's off-the-shelf kit. You can save a little bit of money just by like getting like injector dynamics injectors, IAG fuel lines, or making your own fuel lines, kind of like we did with the 05 STI. I would cobble together my own kit rather than paying for Cobb's. But, I mean, I think it is worth it. That diesel shop. What diesel shop are we talking about over here? Diesel shop. We're talking about a diesel shop. We're talking about a diesel shop. Thanks for the inspiration on working on your car in your garage. No lift. A lot of YouTubers make you believe that you need a huge garage to start. That is true. I do not. I have jacks, a jack stand. Well, I have a jack, 4 jack stands, and a cobbled together toolbox full of random tools I've accumulated over the years. And I always buy cheap tools. I'm always a huge believer in cheap tools. Until once the cheap tool breaks, then I'll buy like the better version of the tool. But I do everything in the garage. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of stuff I wish I had a lift for because that would make life incredibly easier. But you don't need a lift. You don't need a lift to do that stuff. I usually watch your lives while I make top ramen. God, top ramen sounds so good right now. I think Melanie made Alfredo for dinner, so I am kind of looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that. Just a heads up on the external wastegate uppipe. PLM makes one that is solid and won't cost you a fortune. Ooh, the fines for emission was a diesel shop. Thank you. It was the diesel shop that got those fines. Yeah, well, good to hear the PLM still making them. That's good to hear. Did you consider switching to speed density on the STI? We are running a hybrid speed density setup on the STI, so we are still relying off the MAF, but we have a hybrid setup where we have a remote IAT sensor, so that way it's pulling data from a remote IAT sensor that's right before the throttle body and incoming air based off of the MAF, so that way we're not reading IAT readings with incoming air just entering straight through the intake. We're actually getting a more accurate reading up on the charge pipe. So we're doing a hybrid setup. It's kind of what I did on the 17 STI. There's just not a huge need to go full speed density unless you're like 500, 550 plus. You don't need a large garage or a garage at all. That's true. I used to do all my installs in a parking stall at my old apartment complex. The apartment managers were not happy with me, but you know what? I still did it. Is a tune necessary for a front mount intercooler? Yes, you are increasing the volumetric efficiency of the intercooler core, and you're also adding a lot of intercooler piping. Definitely, yes, you will need a tune. What happened to you getting tuned at PRE? PRE is tuning the EG33 STI. They're going to be tuning the 2017 STI with the 6-cylinder and the Hall Tech. They're going to be tuning that car. Surgeline is just tuning the 05 STI. No need for all that fancy stuff. We don't need no fancy stuff. 28 degrees today. Man, that's cold. That's cold. That is cold. When I upgrade to an FP Blue Turbo, can I use my parent inlet, or do I need to upgrade the inlet also? That depends on what size compressor housing you're getting on the FP Blue. I think they make an FP Blue with a 3-inch inlet and a 2.4. If you're getting the turbo with the 2.4 inlet, you can definitely reuse your parent inlet. If you're getting the 3-inch compressor housing inlet, then obviously you're going to need a bigger turbo inlet. Brian STI, what's going on, man? How is it going? My 04 STI is smoking from the passenger side valve cover gasket area and up pipe to the turbo. Been 2 weeks since I replaced the valve cover gasket and still smoking. I'm guessing, did you put any of the gasket maker around the tight bend areas? If not, you are going to leak some oil out of there, and if your half moons are worn on the backside of the heads, those will leak oil also. That's what happened to mine. I'm going to be doing a dedicated video on how to do valve cover gaskets and change out those half moons once we get the 05 STI back from Subaru, because that is something that I have to do as well. But yeah, you're probably leaking oil onto the up pipe. Hopefully, if your up pipe has exhaust wrap on it, do not drive that car, because that is an issue for a fire. If you do not have exhaust wrap on the car, you're totally fine. You're just going to be getting a lot of that burning oil smell. What other supporting mods do I need for Stage 3? Also appreciate the $2 plumber. You always kill it, my man. If you're going to be doing other stuff, supporting mods that I suggest: radiator, air oil separator, cylinder 4 cooling mod. If you really have the budget for it, I would definitely consider doing an equal length header setup just to reduce EGTs coming in of cylinders 2 and 4. So that way you can reduce any potential knock events that are going to be happening on that side of the motor. But with those, that should be a good basis for just reliability mods to get that motor to be able to handle things a little bit easier and pull a little bit of stress off of it. Got any turbos you don't want? I want all the turbos. Are you kidding me? I ain't got no turbos. I got one turbo right now. I have an FP Black, and that's the only turbo I got. What headers did I have on the 2017 STI? I had the Killer Bee Holy headers. Holy headers. Have you tried bass tunes for an STI? Japan versus OEM, or Japan versus ones from the US and other countries. Also, do you know why US STIs come with the gold BBS versus JDM Anki ones? I do not know why. It's just what Subaru has decided that they wanted to do. As for swapping tunes, I'm pretty sure they use the exact same tune in Japan that they do in the United States and everywhere else in the world. I'm pretty sure it's just an off-the-shelf map they flash to all the cars. They may do them like country-specific when it comes to OTS tunes. I'm not quite sure how Subaru does that as cars are coming off of the assembly line. But for the most part, I am not aware. I'm not aware why Subaru does that. Do I need good sway bars for my 2018 WRX, or can I just upgrade the rubber bushing to urethane to get a good result? I mean, upgrading the bushing alone isn't going to do anything that's really noticeable. If you really want to get like a decent feel, I would at minimum suggest swapping the rear sway bar for, I don't know, probably 24mm rear sway bar with the white line. I would do the white line sway bar with the white line bushings and some end links if you're looking to reduce the amount of understeer the car has and kind of even it out a little bit more. Random question. What was my score on the Asvab? My score on the Asvab, I want to say it was like an 83 or 84 or something like that. Something like that. I didn't enjoy it. It was weird questions on the Asvab. What shape is this? And they show you a triangle. It's like, come on. How'd you do? You keep asking Adam. We answered that question, man. Dude, I ordered the OEM STI side skirts and got them today. Well, guess what? They were both bent in the middle. I would file a claim on that one. I'd be so upset. I'd be so annoyed, too. I've had parts like that come in where they just get mangled and destroyed in shipping. I'm really glad that did not happen to the rain guards. But file a claim. Get your money back. Hi, I just joined your live stream, man. Keep up the work on the 05. Hey, appreciate it, Mario. Do you know anybody who's been tuned at In Front Auto in Auburn? Any reviews on them? Anyone in the chat? Matt's Outback used to be tuned by the guys over at In Front. They did a really good job on it. It's just every time I would go through In Front, but every time I go to talk to them, they never respond to me, so I kind of gave up on In Front, but they do good work. Any thoughts on the Isc Coilovers? Good coilovers. Never heard of them, but they're not that cheap, and reviews on them seem pretty good. Hoping to not swap them. Yeah, Isc makes really good coilovers and really good suspension components. I've personally used Isc once in the past. They're not really my go-to for coilovers, but they do make really good suspension parts. I'm just putting my EG33 in as you talk. Hey, that sounds fun, David. Hope everything's smooth. Hope everything goes smooth. I just got my EG33 this weekend. Ooh! Ooh! Going into my 1995 Impreza Coupe. Stay tuned. Hey! Also, appreciate the dono, Cody! Appreciate the dono, guys. You guys always killing all the live streams. And it's the pair again. I love the pair. And it's the pair mic dropping. Does that mean you're leaving, Cody? Well, if you are, I hope you have a good night, my friend. I hope you have a good night. If you are leaving. I don't know. It's the pair mic dropping. Nice to see the 05 driving for real. It is. It's been like nice driving it. I'm just going to end up doing it. It needs an alignment pretty bad. I'm just going to DIY the alignment in the garage. It's no big deal. I'll get it figured out. Especially with having Subaru do the oil pump in the 05 right now, it'll save me a little bit of money than taking it to an alignment shop and having them do it. Plus, that car doesn't really fit on any alignment rack. Some of you guys were asking me, why don't I just have Subaru align the car while it's down there? It won't fit on their alignment rack. Their alignment rack is not an in-grounded alignment rack, and it's at like a very steep angle. The intercooler core would just get absolutely mangled trying to get it up there. Car's running mint. Hey, 140 psi compression on every cylinder, 100% it's engine oil. Yeah, the only thing I could think about would be like something to do with the PCV lines, because or that high pressure oil line for the turbo feed coming off of the AVCS. Those are really the only two areas over there that have oil flowing through them outside of the motor. Like, that's all I can think of that would be up there. Teddy, what is your opinion on the Boomba short throw shifter for the 20 WRX? I have the Boomba shifter plate and bushing, haven't installed yet. I don't want it to be too stiff when shifting. How can I get it to be crisp and smooth? Best shifter modifications for the FA20 and that 6-speed setup. My personal preference is Boomba short throw shifter, a shifter stop, and a shifter bushing. I personally thought it was a little bit too much with the shifter plate on there, but I mean, it's easy to swap out, so if you don't like it with the shifter plate, you can always pull it off, put the stock one back on. But Boomba's a really good option for the for the FA20 platform. That's what I used on all of my old FA20 cars. Well, all my old WRXs, I should say, that had FA20s in them, but very good setup. Very good setup. What's the difference with the 54mm and 84mm on the FP Blue Turbo? Compressor housing size. So 84mm is going to be that 3.3 inch inlet. 54mm is going to be that 2.4 inch. We talked about that one. Do I have stickers and do you ship all the way to... Yes, I do. I believe I have shipping opened up to, I believe that's Philippines. I do have stickers. I will throw up the website if anyone does want to grab anything off the website. Boop, boop, boop. There we go, keyboard. Thanks for cooperating. Yeah, we have stickers. We have some hoodies left. What do we have? We have 2, 3, 4. We have 5 mediums left and like 6 extra larges left for hoodies. Stickers, we have a bounty of stickers. Red Drive t-shirts, I think we have a small medium. The V2 Drive t-shirts, I think we have all sizes. We have all sizes in those. Toe straps, air fresheners, jet tags, you name it, we got it. It's all out there. All out there! But yeah, new merch coming soon also, which I'm pumped for. StopTech Rotors and StopTech Street Series pads, good combo? Yes, that's what I used on the BRZ. Very good combo. I have slight play with the shifter in my 5-speed 04 WRX with a cartboy, short shifter, and bushings. Help stiffen everything up. That they do. That they do. LMAO, Devil's Lettuce. It is Devil's Lettuce. I personally don't get much choice. This last hospital, she gave me permanent ringing and frequent headaches. Ooh, dude, I'm hoping you feel better soon, my man. I'm hoping you feel better soon, Eric. Smedia, what other car would you like to modify and drive if you had the chance with no limits? If I could have any car in good condition that I could modify and drive, it would be a Datsun 280Z. I love older Zs. I love Nissans. I'm big Nissan, big Subaru guy. I've just been playing with Subarus a lot recently. I'll probably end up going back to Nissan. No, actually, you know what? The next car we probably buy will be Nissan. I like Nissan. I love Nissan. I used to have my old Skyline. Used to have my old 350Z. I used to have my old 280ZX. I love Nissans. I like Nissans. No full cage on the street. Small accident could be death or paralyzed. That is true. That is very true. But we are going to take the proper precautions to have all of the safety aspects taken care of in that car. It's not going to be driven on the street frequently. Probably to like shows, some meets here and there. It's mainly going to be track purpose only for the 2017 STI, but should be fine for the most part with the amount of safety stuff that I've got coming from. I've got a whole bunch of like race equip stuff coming for that car. It's all like safety equipment for that thing. It's gonna be awesome. Super excited to get it in, but we'll see. Have you guys ordered stuff from Right Hand Drive Japan? I personally have not. Was referencing the out front building the block, I believe, opposed to having IAG do it. Oh, IAG wouldn't touch it. IAG wouldn't touch that EG33. I actually did ask them before I got in contact with Outfront. When I asked if IAG would be interested in taking on the project, they said, nope, we don't want to touch it. Contact Outfront. That's when I contacted Outfront, and then they started building the block. After seeing the 05 running, you find something else out of camera. After see the 05 running, you find something. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I should have recorded when I was down to Subaru on my phone. I didn't have the camera with me, but yeah, the oil pump was just pee and oil out of both sides of the pump. So when I went under there to change the oil yesterday before we took it out on that drive, I did notice the first oil leak, which was dripping oil onto the header, and that's the only reason I knew that it was there. Come to find out, once we got up on the lift and we stuck the boroscope in there, that's when we saw the oil leaking out of the oil pump itself. So it happens. It's unfortunate. What are some signs of a wearing clutch? You will go to accelerate and the car will rev up, but it doesn't go as fast. So I mean, obviously your clutch would be slipping. You would smell it, you would feel it, and you would hear it. You would know if your clutch is wearing. I forgot to order my rotors and brakes. Car had upgraded rear brakes, and I just saw how thin the brake rotors are. They are paper thin. Jesus. Want to know how long till the brakes just stop working? That's sketch. That's super sketch. Anyone on here can do up a small garage with a 2 lift. I've seen people do it. I've never done it, but I've seen people do it. Just a heads up, we talked about that. Are you more excited for the 05 STI to complete it or the 17 STI? 100% the 17 STI. 100%. Shoving that 6-cylinder in that car is going to be the biggest headache I've probably done when coming to modify cars. This is the biggest, like, this is probably the most major modification I've ever done to a car. And I have absolutely no idea how to do half of it, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. I'm pumped for that thing. Brent, I'm a little late. Catch me up, bro. Finally finished my E-Tune, and she rips. Hey, congrats on the E-Tune, dude. Also, what lug nuts are you using on the Blob Eye? I can't find the video where you mentioned them. I use the SR48 open-end lug nuts. They're cheap. They work. I don't need no fancy lug nuts on the car. Don't need them. But yeah, man, we've just been talking. We've been hanging out, kicking it, chilling. Do you think IAG is going to follow suit with Grimspeed and stop selling and stopping external wastegate production? What I see happening here in the next probably 2 years is they're not going to stop all external wastegate production. What they're going to do is they're going to start routing external wastegates into downpipes. So that way they're not venting to the atmosphere. They're actually venting into the downpipe and passing through a catalytic converter. That's what I see a lot of companies going to be doing here in the near future, is we're just going to end up losing the atmospheric abilities of having a wastegate, and they're just all going to start like venting back into downpipes. I have the same issue, but I think it's coolant. Well, hopefully you find your coolant leak, my friend. Good catch at Subaru. Glad you didn't roast a new block. I know, right? Plus, it's nice to have Subaru double check everything. All the work that I did. The only other issue that we found was those half moons leaking a little bit of oil on the valve covers. But I can fix those in the garage. I wasn't gonna have them do it, so we can definitely take care of that. Got an 18 FXT FAS. Love the FA, but understand the limits of the CVT. What are your thoughts on a safe, moderate upgrade path for a CVT FA WRX Foresters? I'd like to get the Forester at 287 horsepower one day. So the CVTs typically like to give out around 320 wheel horsepower-ish. That's when I see them starting to throw fits and causing a lot of problems. 287 is very doable. J-pipe, cap back, intercooler, AOS, EGR, TGV delete. If you're going to stay top mount intercooler, a charge pipe at that point, turbo inlet boost controller should get you there most of the way. Wanting a nice all-wheel drive platform and leaning towards Subies for that rumble. Hey, what are your thoughts on getting a cheaper WRX instead of the STI and using the extra cash for mods? What are your thoughts? A lot of people do it. It's a good plan. Just keep in mind that some of the older WRXs are going to have, if not the same problems I've had with the 05 STI. They could have more, they could have less. Just keep in mind that you're going to be spending a little bit of money going through there and refreshing an older one, if that is what you are in the market for. If you're looking for a newer one, I'd say newer being like 2011 plus at this point. Expect a lot less issues, but a lot of people do go that route of buying a WRX and modifying them. I mean, you can modify anything if you don't mind spending X amount of dollars. By all means, go for it. WRXs are still very good. They're very fun. I like WRXs. I've had plenty of WRXs. Without proper spring rate, sway bars will cause wheel lift and issues during turns. That is also true. True. If you're doing, yeah, I probably wouldn't do it without. I probably wouldn't do sway bars without coilovers. Does your stock tune for the STI run richer than most cars? My base tune runs a little bit leaner than I'd like. But like stock STI tunes, I mean, they're okay. They run optimally. It kind of depends on where you are or where you're located. Atmospheric pressure is going to play a huge one, both external, just because that's really going to change how much air pressure the car's seeing and how much air it's actually getting in the system, causing AFRs to be a little bit different. But I haven't really seen like stock STI tunes be like incredibly richer than other cars I've had in the past. I'm going from a Prius to a WRX here in the next few months. Yes! You have been a great resource for quality information. Thanks, brother. Hey, glad I could help, and I am excited that you were getting into a WRX and out of a Prius. I've driven a couple Priuses in the past before, and I roasted the starter on one of them because I had absolutely no idea the car had started. Oops. No, not leaving. Haha, the pair look cool. Okay. I feel it. I was just throwing it out there. Mic drop meant, I thought that meant the pair was leaving. Bought an STI last week. Still satisfied as fuck. Hey, glad you're enjoying the car, man. Just looked, and do you know if Killer Bee has discontinued the external wastegate headers for the FA20 because they are no longer available on the website? They may have. They very well may have. I do not know if they did or did not, though. I've been talking to Killer Bee the past couple of days, trying to work out an EG33 oil pan group buy kind of situation with them. So next time I talk to them, I'll definitely ask them. What time is it right now? It is 7:47. I gotta hop off, you guys. I gotta go eat dinner. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since lunch. Your boy is starving. But anyways, I appreciate all the donos you guys had tonight. Your boy always appreciates it. Keep in mind, new merch drop coming soon as well. Hoodies, t-shirts, all the good stuff. And if I did not get to your guys' questions tonight, or I may have missed it, please feel free to swing by the next live stream. This Friday, which actually we might do that one in the garage because that's when I get the EG33 back. So we might do that one with the EG33. I don't quite know yet. We'll see. I saw the orb that time. Maybe that is a ghost. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of ghosts. But anyways, your boy's going to go eat some food. So I will catch you guys in the next one.